guests will feast when the bridegroom is with them, and they will fast when the bridegroom is absent. The disciples of John come and ask why they and the Pharisees do all this fasting and all these religious practices, but the disciples of Jesus do not. And he uses the image, you don't fast when the bridegroom is there. The reason for the festivities, when present, you feast. But when that is absent, you fast. The religious practices. As I was thinking of what this gospel is all about, this Lent calls us to feast and to fast. To feast where we encounter the presence of God, to make that even stronger in our lives, where we recognize the presence of Christ, to celebrate that, to make sure that that remains strong. But where the presence of Jesus in our lives is absent, to make sure that we do the fasting, that we keep that far away from ourselves. Lent is another opportunity to take a long, loving look at our lives. Where is it that we experience the presence of Christ, his blessing, his actions, his movement in our lives as individuals, as a family, and as a community? To celebrate that and to make sure that that is strong. To never lose sight of the presence of Christ. But where the presence of Christ is absent, to make sure that we put in the effort to cast that aside, to fast from that. Where we see selfishness, where we see egoism, where we see all of these other things that do not allow for the presence of Christ to be seen and to be experienced individually, in our homes, and in our community, to be sure that we fast from that. Jesus is the bridegroom, and he will never leave the church. Jesus was talking to disciples of John the Baptist and Pharisees, but we know that he will always be present among us. Have we seen his action? Are we aware of his movement? Can we tell other people about his presence? Let's make sure that we're all going to be on the same page. And where he is absent, let us strive to make sure that the presence of Christ will penetrate our hearts, that indeed we may be people who proclaim by word and by deed that the bridegroom is with us.